Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it. I don't want to jinx it, but they may finally break the curse. And this is a curse. I, as you know, grew up in Boston, longtime Boston Red Sox fan, and I grew up with misery after misery after misery after misery. We thought we would never see it, and the curse finally ended. But for the Cubs, it's been a much longer curse than even the Red Sox.
Red Sox went from 1918 to 2004. Cubs are still waiting since 1908. Since 1908. Wrigley Field hadn't even been built yet.
Right.
Harry Carey hadn't been born. Harry Carey has come and gone.
I don't know. You know what's so funny? I don't even know if people know Harry Carey was the legendary Cubs announcer, but there's a whole generation that only knows him because Will Ferrell did an impression of him on Saturday Night Live. That's the only. But I think that's the only. People don't know that. No, he was the iconic sportscaster.
He was bombastic and entertaining, but for most of his career, he was genuinely great as a broadcaster. And for whatever reason, he took a liking to me when I was first breaking in. And since most of the games at Wrigley were day games, if I was there, he'd say, "Come on, kid, let's go." And he was known as the mayor of Rush Street. And he'd stay out till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, didn't matter. And he could drink a case of Budweiser, which is why he was so effective at selling it during games. And so at one point, we're sitting in his restaurant, Harry Carey's, and people are just coming up to him, everything from pretty young girls to 90-year-old men, and they all adore him, and they want a photograph and an autograph. And I surveyed the scene, and I said, "Harry, what's it all about?" And with those big glasses and that rumbling voice, he goes, "What's it all about, kid? What's it all about? I'll tell you what it's all about. Booze, broads, baseball, and bullshit."
That's funny because later in his career, there were moments where he was not always politically correct. Fair?
Yeah, I don't even know if I should tell this story because it would have gotten any of us fired right on the spot.
Right.
When it happened in the 1990s, the Cubs had a well-traveled shortstop named Jose Vizcaino, and there was a pop into shallow center. And Vizcaino went out, and the center fielder came in, and they looked each other off, and it dropped between them. And Harry is doing the games.
And he's on the air.
He's on the air and, mentioning people's birthdays and mispronouncing people's names and talking about where he's going to be going for dinner and saying whatever occurs to him. So the ball drops, and he was like a fan. He'd be so exasperated if things didn't go right for the Cubs. And he turns to Stone and he goes, "Steve, here's what I want to know. How can a guy from Mexico lose a ball in the sun?" Now, if anybody else says that, they don't fire him after the game. They fire him right then. Before the next pitch.
He says Carey.
And the best part about it was Vizcaino was from the Dominican Republic.